Hi everybody, I'm Pandy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw a furry slash anthro slash animal VTuber. You see, making an animal VTuber is a tad different than making a human one. Mainly because of things like the mouth forms, the angles, the muzzle, ears, tails. While animal ears and tails are widely used in other non-animal VTubers, muzzles and mouth forms will be different. I haven't seen any tutorials on how to do them, which led me to having to figure out everything by myself. So here I am, after all the hard work, I've come to help you. By the way, most of the footage that you're gonna see in this video was live streamed on my Twitch channel, so if you wanna see more art content or get to know me a bit more, you're more than welcome to have a peek. Also, this is just a how to draw a VTuber model, not how to rig a VTuber model tutorial. So if this video does well, I will also make a rig video if you guys wish to. Now, the video. First of all, you're obviously going to need a design. It doesn't have to be amazing, and you don't have to be a great artist, but do research. Different animals have different mouth, ear, and skull shapes, so trying to sketch the animal that you're going to do a VTuber of before getting into it might help you. You can use this Github link to find head angles and references of the specific species that you want to do. Next, you need to make sure that your art program can export in PSD format. This is because it's the only file type that can be read by Live2D Cubism to then later on rig the model. Just Google if your art program can export PSD, and if it does, then you're good. Also take into account the amount of layers that your art program can handle. For example, I know that Procreate has a layer cap, so be wary of that. After that, you need to decide if you're going to want to do a half body or chibi VTuber or a full body. If it's your first time making a VTuber, or you are just getting started and you're going to use it for the corner like I am right now, I recommend that you start with a half body or chibi one, since you spent less time drawing, and full body VTubers are mostly used by corporate VTubers. It's up to you. Next is knowing the canvas size that you're going to use. Half bodies or chibis are usually 2048 pixels by 2048 pixels. Full bodies are 2048 pixels by 4096 pixels. Again, this depends on the design of your VTuber. Mine, for example, is 5500 pixels by 7000 pixels. Also, when you're making a VTuber, you need to be wary of the VTuber's right and left. You would name your layers and folders by right and left from the VTuber's perspective, not yours as the artist. And now, once you've got everything figured out, I start by making all the folders first. You're free to pause the video and take notes on the folder and layer list, and I will be leaving a link in the description with a free PSD document with a base character that I've drawn for you to use. I better not see someone out there blatantly using my drawing as their own VTuber. After this, you need to draw your VTuber. Sounds easy, right? From what I've learned so far, the two most important things that you need to take into account are: 1. Always draw extra. The model will move when you rig it, so that extra space that you draw will fill the gaps in the drawing. 2. The layering order. And I've already done this on the VTuber base for you, but as I said before, every animal in VTuber model is different, so it's always good to understand how you are layering your art for it to be an easier job later on when rigging the model. Now, probably the biggest reason why you're watching this video: the mouth, the ears, and the neck. I'll go one by one. The muzzle, or mouth, is the most different thing to do from a regular VTuber. How I do the trick is I divide the muzzle in two parts, the upper and the lower part of the muzzle. If you look this from a side profile, I'm basically dividing it like this. This is because I want a shadow to be cast only on the lower part of the muzzle. As for the top part, the main gimmick is to divide it in three parts: the nose, the top muzzle, and the sideline. We have the top of the muzzle as the color of the character, and then we make another layer underneath this one with roughly the shape of the muzzle, as the same color as the line art. When we later on rig the model, this hidden layer will appear on the side, creating this 3D sense. If you're rigging this model, take into account that you're gonna have to rig every single mouth form and corner, since it may not behave as well as it does with human characters. The ears. I'm pretty sure there are lots of tutorials on how to do animal ears, but how I do it is that I divide it in three layers: the back of the ear, the fluff inside, and the front of the ear. Pretty simple. Now the neck. I've kind of found two ways of doing this. The model either has their head on top of the body, or it's detached of the body. Then you divide these, depending on your model's design, on 2 or more layers, front and back. You should treat this as a mix in between necks and hairs when you draw human VTubers. Now, the rest of the body is really similar to what any other VTuber will be. For things like the tail or ears, you can always find other YouTube tutorials because everybody does it differently. Personally, how I learned doing VTubers and rigging in specific was by following Merely Wufei's 11 video guide to rigging VTubers. She is seriously a lifesaver, and if you follow the videos right, you get a pretty good rig. This is actually my first tutorial ever and my second video on YouTube, so if you have any feedback or any questions, just pop a comment and I will answer. Thanks! Oh yeah, and just one last thing.